Yo, before we get into the show, I want to apologize for all the static and the quite a bit of echoes throughout the episode, but we had a good time. So, hope you guys do as well. Please bear with us. Won't be like that in the future. Enjoy the show.
All right, welcome to 6G Agenda. I'm your host, Andrew, here again with my man, Justin Ward, on the chords.
Yo.
And we talk about what they want. Welcome. Back again with us, we got our man, SIMS. It's been a while.
What's going on?
Been a
Any of
long
our-
fucking time.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, any of our old school, first dayers, they know. The A1 day ones know. Yeah, it's been too long, Sims. How you been?
I've been doing good, man. How you been?
Just going deep, dude, as always.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, welcome everybody. Thanks, new listeners. We got lots of good feedback on this last episode or two. We'll get into that in a second. First, definitely check out our description. We got all of our social media down there, our email. You can contact feedback. We've gotten some good feedback recently, some personal messages that I'm allowed to share a little bit of. May have some insider knowledge on some tech lord psychology. So that'll be a good time. So we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, welcome back, Sims. We've been kind of getting into some MK Ultra again. So
Mhm.
you're kind of back in a good time. You know a little bit about that from the last time you were on.
Indeed.
So yeah, we're kind of doing a chill pod this time. We're going to be just taking a little every other episode break from the series. For anybody that's new to the show, that's kind of how we do things. We do just kind of hang out, talk about shit going on, and then also we get into our deep dives. So without further ado, thank you for the recent comments. King's way back on there. He gave some good insight on that last kind of tidbit that we gave at the end of the last episode about the Adam and Eve shit. So that was cool. Sarah Boston, as always, right on. You're awesome. But yeah, so appreciate the feedback. I did get an email. Somebody kind of gave me a little lead towards some of that telepathy tape being related with autistic children being related with some of this MK Ultra stuff. So I'll be researching that lead and bring that into the series. Thank you very much. Felicia, I believe, was your email. We'll leave it at that. So recently, I got a DM from a listener. I won't say the name. We'll just leave it at that. And they found our podcast looking up ChatGPT psychosis. And they were pretty stoked about that. I think Sims definitely probably didn't hear about us talking about that. Sims, have you heard about the ChatGPT psychosis going on?
I have not.
So there's people that are using ChatGPT and confiding into it so much and using it at a level where they end up kind of thinking they're prophets. They, end up cutting themselves or doing some demonic war, One person did like a whole ritual and it told them how to do it. It's pretty nuts.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been weird as fuck. And then you got the ones that are like falling in love with the chat GPTs.
I can
There's some of
definitely
that.
see that.
Yeah, that's
Going
kind of
crazy over them.
Yeah, they're wild for that one. Yeah, so there's just been some people that have been going crazy. They've been losing relationships with their family members because they're just so entrenched in the self glorification that they kind of get from ChatGPT, where they kind of just tell you that you're always right and, etc. So yeah, it's pretty nuts. But anyway, we talked about that a little bit. And yeah, so she heard us through that. And she worked at Facebook, got hired whenever she was younger. And she got to know the psychology of some of these tech bros. And every day that passed, she got more and more freaked out about the power a small group of these men possess. She got fired eventually for not being the most agreeable employee. It was right around the genocide in Myanmar and the Cambridge Analytica scandal. She wasn't emotionally invested in that job, which I couldn't blame her, dude. There's a whole, like, your CEO's in court for stealing data, and
Yeah, dog.
yeah, I don't blame you. Wasn't emotionally invested, but continued a lot of relationships with people that were in the departments and high up as well. Tech companies like Google, Cisco, and eventually OpenAI, speaking of ChatGPT. And so she continued these relationships because she was fascinated by these people as far as just how narrow-minded, insecure, and technically smart narcissists that may come in handy for whatever purpose. I don't know. And yeah, I just thought it was very interesting because it seems like she's got a little bit of insider knowledge into some of this wild shit. And so towards the end of this, she said that she met a guy who worked at Palantir and he invited her to a party. And so I saw this, and of course I was like, oh, cool, crazy. And I was like, yo, what's up with the party? How did that go? Because of course I was super interested to know if she went. And if so, what was that like? Because it's with all these people, right?
Yeah.
Palantir guys. I mean, that's got to be crazy. So long story short, let me kind of skip past a little bit of this. It was wild. She didn't know she was capable of such restraint. She claims that she's an invested researcher and discussing the intersection of tech, politics, media, culture, and psychology with history is her favorite thing. But for this dinner that she went to, she kept her eyes open, mouth shut, ears open. And it was nauseatingly dark, she says. Sorry, I'm trying to read this from far away. But it was also fascinating. And she said, oh, God, we've handed the keys to the kingdom to twacked out megalomaniacs. We're so cooked. She writes very eloquent. I'm kind of skipping through a little bit how all the details, but she writes very eloquently. Great speaker. I'd love to have her on to kind of give her testimony about this because I'm interested.
Sure, that would be sick.
Yeah. So the experience added to her theory of a cult being completely in control of Silicon Valley. This is what really intrigued me. Because this is after she goes to the party. Then she's like, dude, I just am getting more it's not like nobody's proving her concepts wrong, which are obviously similar to what we talk about.
Right.
And she's an insider. So the people in control of technology have a lot of say in the future of mankind, unfortunately, in her opinion. And she's definitely not the first person to call it a cult, but seeing the religious fervor, delusional visions of the future, and optimism akin to a drug bender was very eye-opening. And they brought up Gideon. So we'll take a sidestep there. Sims, do you know what Gideon is?
I do not.
So Gideon is a new software we talked about in the last episode because we talked about the Minneapolis shooter. You heard about that, right?
I think so.
The Catholic church shooting?
No, damn, I didn't hear about that either.
No, yeah, it was a Catholic school that a transgender dude went into and killed Catholic children and wrote all over his gun and shit, a bunch of contradictory things, 6 million wasn't enough, a lot of anti-Semitic things, but then went into a Catholic church. It seems a little weird to me.
What the fuck?
So anyway, obviously we see through the bullshit here. We know what's going on. So because right after this, an Israeli software company, Gideon, which works with Palantir and has Palantir engineers, created this thing that's predictive policing that I've kind of talked to you about before we were on the show. So this is what the software is called that I told you about.
Okay.
Yep, predictive policing.
Okay.
So very crazy.
Yeah.
She's been researching a lot of that, especially because of the Minneapolis shooter. People are kind of opening their eyes because the day of the Minneapolis shooting, the guy that owns Gideon goes on Fox News and he says, we could prevent this. I have technology that, anybody who puts out grievances, we could go arrest them, essentially. which is crazy because I have grievances all the time.
Hmm.
You know, have you ever posted something that, you know, just said, I don't agree with this on, you know, social media? Because according to them, you know, that's grounds for picking you up. So, yeah. At this party, it was very unnerving to be surrounded by people that are living in a completely different reality than her, she felt. They mentioned that she was the only one, or she mentions that she was the only one that was not a true believer, which is what they literally called themselves. So they mentioned that they're true believers. And she just was like, man, these people are nuts.
What does it mean to be a true believer exactly?
Well, they hate humanity, and they think that, this is her words, and they think of flesh and blood as a lowly, disgraceful form. She was shocked how openly it was talked about, because usually when you hear Thiel talk about his philosophy, he uses padded language to make his propaganda easier on the ears. So essentially, they're a techno-libertarian transhumanist society, and their ideology was proudly on full display that night that she was at this party. So go ahead.
So I would assume their agenda, well, one of their main agendas would be population control.
Yeah, eugenics, population control, and then the people that are worthy would get their life extension, right? And
I heard that's
so
why people were fucking pissed about the whole Sydney Sweeney ad because of eugenics. Because she had
well,
like the play on word with genes and shit like that.
that was done on purpose because they're trying to poke and prod at people. And yeah, it's done on, they're trying to piss people off. I mean, they want the left to go radical and crazy. They, you know, the shooting, whether it's organic or not, they want that. That's if you look at the shooting in Minneapolis, is inorganic. And then you look at the American Eagle shit.
Yeah.
It's very clear that they're trying to piss off the left and make the left look pissed off. They're trying to, like, the no King's riot, or protests rather.
Yeah.
It didn't turn into riots like they wanted. You know, they put National Guard in LA, the most left city, you know what I mean? So obviously they're poking and prodding at the left, trying to piss them off. And they want to create the dissent to then bring in martial law. But back to their ideology, I did mention to her, I said, that's kind of exactly what I expected, because it makes sense when you extrapolate from Gnostic ideologies into the real world and mechanize it. The only true enlightenment becomes living forever and detaching consciousness from your biological restraints. So I think that that's kind of what they were espousing with her, is this idea that we have restraints, and they're biological restraints, and we're finite, and we will die, and they want to relieve themselves of those restraints by bringing their consciousness into a silicon-based entity. And so that's some crazy shit, man.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked.
I mean, it's crazy to hear somebody that, you know, was hanging out with him that felt the need to reach out.
Yeah.
And I mean, your boy's got insiders.
That's pretty wild, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out. I'm not even gonna say your name. You know what I mean? Shout out. I'll call you Bag Lady. Shout out Bag Lady.
Yeah.
Shout out Bag Lady. So, anyways, and you know, to that she said exactly, it's all about optimization at all costs. It's the total inversion of most people's beliefs, I would like to say. She said her beliefs, but I feel like I would like to say it's most people's, where our blunders and quirks are the most beautiful thing about us. And she believes in experiencing and growing from hardships. And I do as well. And when asked about this, she told them about her inclinations towards Buddhist and Stoic teachings. And their response, while typical, left her dumbfounded. It didn't compute. They thought that maybe she had misheard them. And they couldn't wrap their heads around the fact that she said many here. Someone may not want to apply game theory. Some may not want to apply game theory to every aspect of their life. This obviously isn't the same group of techies that she was around when working at Facebook. So yeah, this is the next iteration of them. You know what I mean? This is an evolutionary thing. Right. Ideology begets ideology. And as the technology becomes more palpable to be able to make this happen, you're going to see people become more radically involved in this, and it becomes more of a religion, just like ufology.
Mm-hmm.
And that's exactly what's going on with a very small group of tech lords, we could call them, and their cronies that they have working under them.
Bro, you know, like all of this kind of reminds me of that movie Greenland with Gerard Butler. Have you guys seen it?
No.
Greenland.
Uh-huh. So it's a really good movie, but so it's about
Gerard Butler. Yeah. Disaster thriller. Wait, maybe I did see this. There's a lot of fucking disaster movies I've seen over the years.
so it's like this one. So there are a bunch of meteors coming towards Earth, and apparently only very important people that have important roles, they get like this bracelet, and they're only allowed onto like these cargo airplanes, and it takes everybody to Greenland while they wait out the apocalypse or whatever. And then maybe like I think like 5 or 10 years later they emerge and they start a whole new society.
Dude, that's like Leave the World Behind. Obama fucking produced that movie, and that's like where that
Yeah.
dude has a code where he can go like to this bunker or whatever, and only the elite get to go to at the end of the.
Yeah.
It's the same concept, dude.
It's the same concept as 2012 as well, with the fucking arcs at the end and shit.
Because as we talked about in one of our episodes, man, the Breakaway Civilization episode did very well because it's fucking real, dude. We've had a lot of movies that tell us these motherfuckers took $20 trillion around that much. I mean, listen to Catherine Fitz. She's talked about it, dude. Like they've taken a lot of money and they funneled it into a lot of tech that we don't know about underground to save their ass if anything happens. And also to, a lot of this technology that's just now emerging that they probably have forever.
But bro, you know what's crazy? Somebody told me they always show us what technology they have or what plan they're gonna do to us in movies. And we just think, oh, it's just entertainment. This can't be real. And
Mm-hmm.
maybe like 5 or 10 years later, that same technology comes to fruition.
Oh, that's a fact. And also, you weren't here for this, but we talked about all the movies that were funded by the military.
Mm-hmm.
The
Oh
military
shit.
has its own, the military has its own Hollywood like budget planning where
Yeah.
they any movie that has to do with certain topics. Okay, Jurassic Park, Transformers. There's a lot of random movies that's like, why did they have a hand in funding that? So
Mm.
there's weird shit like that going on. Like when we talked about the underground bunkers again, breakaway civilization shit, we talked about Transformers and how, Justin brought up how they brought one of the fucking Decepticons were inside of one of these bunkers that we were literally talking about on our show, and they put it in a movie.
Yeah. In Transformers, they actually fucking I saw this the other day, which was kind of wild. Seen Transformers however many times, I never knew this. They actually used a real C-130 in the first Transformers movie,
Oh wow.
which is fucking dope. But that
That's
also
Oh
just
crazy.
yeah,
it's just like a given. It's like, yeah, the military kind of had a hand in that one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Damn.
shit's wild, dude.
Real
But
quick,
yeah,
before
so
we leave this
go
one
ahead.
alone, this
Mhm.
movie sucked fucking ass. Terrible
Oh,
watch.
oh yeah, I've never
Okay.
seen that.
We
Yeah,
What
can
was
me
it?
go.
either.
What was it? Let's say the name for people that are listening.
That was the Leave the World Behind movie.
Oh yeah, Leave the World Behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I did watch it. I didn't think it was a terrible movie
I
whenever I
fucking
found out
hated it.
Obama. I was very interested in the fact that Obama had a hand in producing this from the angle of the political turmoil that they described in the movie itself as well, because I believe it wasn't even a natural disaster. It might have been political turmoil. Like they
Yeah.
didn't say what was going on. They didn't say if it was a civil war. They didn't say if it was like cataclysm. You didn't know.
No. Well, yeah, and that was my thing. Like as a viewer, there were so many plot holes, and it's like the
Yeah, it
way
was
they ended the
intentional.
movie, it just pissed me off. So I was like, all right,
Mhm.
you can keep
Well,
that.
it was produced by Obama. So
I know.
I mean, that guy's not he's not Spielberg, even though Spielberg's Laurel Canyon the guy who made Minority Report is literally Spielberg. Minority Report is all about predictive policing, which is the Gideon software. And Spielberg came from Laurel Canyon, which is full military intelligence families that all had children who were musicians and movie makers and everything else. And then and again, to your point, Sims, they put this shit in movies because they have family that are intelligence or military and they know about all this shit because they're in the couple, they're in the group, So yeah, that's kind of what I see to be the reason why that's a thing.
I mean, but why give us a glimpse? Why show us? Why not just do it?
In what way? Give us a glimpse of
Like,
oh.
you know what I'm saying?
Well, I think they're definitely working up to it. Actually, I was going to mention this today. Trump just named the Department of Defense the Department of War.
I did not know that.
What, dude?
So the last time the Department of Defense was the Department of War was World War II. So to your point, Sims, I do think that we're on the way to that kind of scenario pretty soon, especially considering the Chinese military parade that just went on. But yeah, the return of War Department is more than nostalgia. It's a message, which is what I'm kind of saying right now as well. First time you'll see me agree with New York Times. But I do think it is a message. It's a message that we're heading into. I mean, yeah, dude, I do think we're headed into because they want to create this system and you're not going to get the consent you want. And it's going to need to come from complete Armageddon and or carnage within your own country or whatever. And that's what they're trying to create right now. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about poking and prodding the left, possibly creating shootings inorganically with anti-Semitic remarks so they could use Israeli software to lock us down in a police state. So, I mean, it's pretty fucking crazy if you ask me. It's, you manufacture consent by manufacturing crises.
Mm.
And that's what's going on in front of us. And if you look up the Chinese parade, Putin, Kim Jong-un, they all attended with Xi Jinping and hung out with him while they displayed all the weapons that yeah. And a lot of their weapons are actually provided to them by Israel from us.
What?
And then China gives a lot of those weapons to Iran. And then Israel goes, oh no, Iran's bombing us. But at the end of the day, those came from Israel because they gave them to China and they stole them and they took them from us because we give them all free shit. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
I knew about their parade and I knew what they were like, yo, look what the fuck we got down. But I didn't know Putin and Xi Jinping. Well, fucking, I didn't know Putin was there.
Well, what's going on
And
right
Kim
here
Jong-un.
is they're posturing, man. They're posturing. But the thing is, I'm saying this is not organic. This is all theater. Because if you don't mind pulling up on another tab, Alex Karp says we'll be on a 3-front war. This guy owns Palantir, Alex Karp. Palantir was using their drones to kill Gazans in, Palestine for the past 3 years. So that's going to be used eventually right here in America as well. But this guy said a year ago that we'll be on a 3-front war with who? Russia, China, and Iran. Well, those people all attended this Chinese parade as well as North Korea. It's kind of crazy.
Man.
So what you said, dude, why do they show us this? Well, they show us this. I mean, if you think about it, these movies didn't come out that long ago, dude. It's not like they're showing it to us 100 years before. I mean, I think it's coming. He said that the military is very close to the threshold where somewhat autonomous drones that can kill become the most important weapons. And I believe since then it has become that. You see it in Ukraine, but you definitely see it in Gaza. They destroyed 1,000 buildings in Gaza. It's destroyed, decimated. So yeah, that's the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. This dude, Alex Karp, he's either an oracle or he has insider knowledge on things to come. And I wouldn't believe me about Israel giving their weapons to China because I can't find anything mainstream about it either. But I do believe it only because I know the way the Mossad does shell companies so that way they can never trace themselves to anything.
Yeah.
And I also understand that a year ago, this dude, Alex Karp, said we're going to be on a 3-front war. if Israel keeps providing those weapons and making it to where that could be possible, it seems like Israel's really like, and by the way, Israel through us. So we're equally as involved. We've always been that empire that's like causing wars. So we all get mad at Israel, but we got to remember we're right there with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I do love that. Like all the Americans, lately they're just like, Israel, Israel, Israel. It's like, yo, I'm with you. I'm saying the same thing, but also
Yeah.
America's
Holding their
been,
hand.
we've been killing generations of Iraqis in Afghanistan, generations of people in Syria, generations of people in Palestine, and letting Israel do it. So I'm just saying, dude, we've been killing generations of people that are Islamic, and then we're turning around and importing all the Islamics to our country. So that way we could then scream about how they're creating Sharia law.
Yeah.
It's all created by design. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it's so fucking obvious, dude. It's crazy. You funnel people that won't assimilate in, and then they'll vote themselves into office whenever you're thinking they're going to vote for you, the Democrats, and then it backfires.
Yeah.
They call that blowback. But I question if that was intentional. Don't they know that people are going to side with themselves and pick themselves? Of course they are.
Right.
It's these people are not stupid. This wasn't a miscalculation by the Democrat Party, as people like Joe Rogan kind of said it was, which I agree with everything that they were saying up until that point, where it's like, hold on, let's take that a step further,
Yeah.
because that's the thing, dude. Like, I'll listen to people like that where like they'll say all of it up until a certain point, and then they'll stop.
Right.
And it's like, wait a minute, are you gonna tell me you don't think that's plausible though? So sometimes I wish I was in on some of these conversations and be like, well, what do you think about that, dude? Is nobody gonna say this? I know they're thinking it.
Yeah, there's this dude I'm friends with on Facebook, old like coworker. He fucking posts nonstop, like let's go Trump shit. And then when shit was hot for him around the Epstein flare, he was so silent, dude. I wanted to be like, yo, where you at, bro? Come on,
hilarious.
man. He did not say a single fucking thing.
That's hilarious. Well, people, because at the end of the day, dude, there's always a certain point that people like, somebody was laying that, I think it was on the same Joe Rogan episode. I'm done mentioning after this, but they were talking about how people, they were super great about the Black Lives Matter stuff and the DEI and this and that, right? But then as soon as you start talking about Zionists, now these alternative media guys, they're like, whoa, no, won't talk about that.
Yeah.
So that's how you could tell a shill. Because if there's places you won't go in your conversation, that's an indication of either ideology that has you blinded, having blinders on, or it's a what would you call it? A controlled op, or I want to say more like a paid narrative pusher.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very, very prevalent nowadays in the alternative media.
Right.
Because they want to give people what they're looking for, and that's that like skeptical truth, a little bit more facts than you'll get in mainstream, right?
Yeah.
But you can't give them everything, because then that tells them everything, right? And that's what I think we see in front of us all the time. And we here try to take it to the next step. That's all we try to do. We don't know everything, but we just try to take that to the next step because we don't hear other people doing it.
Right.
Get you to take the blindsiders off.
Yeah, take the blinders off, dude.
That's right.
Motherfuckers riding you like some horse jockeys, bro.
Right.
Come on, man, dude. You ain't. Come on, bro. So I also had this is mainly going to be an episode that's just about like, I guess like shit that's been going on with your boy Andrew lately, and obviously SIMS and everything. Because I also had an email from somebody who was interested in coming on the podcast, right? And this woman, probably a sweet woman, probably great. I don't know her. She wanted to come on. And the only reason why I bring it up is because, she has some NGOs and stuff like that work with the UN, right? And so I was like, well, I wouldn't attack you at all, but I do want to let you know that we are kind of a conspiratorial based show and we have a lot of critiques about the UN. And I mean, I wouldn't mind your expertise being somebody who's done business with them to kind of maybe fix my perspective, but expect a little bit of offering of facts, you know? And she was like, oh yeah, that's great. You know, people should be skeptical and critical of things, and more people should be that way, and that's a great thing. But yeah, it's probably not the best fit. It's like, okay. So meanwhile, while she's doing this, I'm of course looking up who this woman, like what this company is that she runs,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm trying to find out if there's anything in relation to fuckery going on, because we know that through philanthropy, a lot of these, I'm not saying it's her, right? But I'm just curious, I'm
Yeah.
seeing if there's any scandals.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's none, really. I'll say that outward. So that way I don't want to slander anything. I'm not slandering anybody, but
Well, that's good.
there is some oddities that I will mention. Many of GlobeAware's destination countries have documented child trafficking problems. That does not mean GlobeAware is involved, and I found no evidence tying them to any trafficking networks. But their programs are near places that are major hubs, and it's more than one country next to a hub, right? So it's just a little weird.
Yeah.
I don't know if the UN stations multiple nonprofit organizations in one area on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, like hers might be okay, but then there's like 10 others there, right? So one of those might be. So I'm just kind of pointing that out.
Yeah.
Because she kind of got me on this little research track. I mean, dude, hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different countries. Thailand, Costa Rica, Philippines, and it's in a certain area of where a lot of this kind of goes on. It's just weird, proximity. It doesn't mean that she's, that they're involved at all. Just really want to reiterate that, no litigation.
But that is kind of an eyebrow raiser, though.
It's eyebrow raiser, especially because on their website they say we do not work with orphanages.
Right.
And I just don't understand why you would say that. Why are you making it a point to say that? Okay. And the thing is,
Right.
no, wait, here's the thing. I did find out they did work with orphanages at one point, and then they stopped and said, we do not do it. So I wonder
Why not?
that there was no reported scandals. So, dude, she got me doing some digging, bro. She didn't know what this show was, bro. Like, I was like, you emailed the wrong guy, bro. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I'm not gonna out you, but if you're not gonna come on here and talk about it, because this is all I would have done is just brought this up to her, and asked her.
Dude,
that would have been like, what do you think?
That would have been entertaining.
I mean, just to ask, I would have been like, why did you remove or why did you decide to stop working in orphanages? See what her answer was, and be like, well, are you aware that many of these countries that you go to have a lot high sex trafficking? She'll probably say, well, yeah, they're third world countries, most do. Okay, there's more sex trafficking in America than most other countries, so whatever, it doesn't even mean anything. So I mean, I'm already ready for the conversation, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, I just feel like it would have been a good conversation, but I wouldn't have argued or like been rude. But I would have just offered an objective perspective. Tried to. I thought it would have been fun. I thought it would have been fun just to kind of ask her.
That would have been good.
Again, dude, I want to talk to people that are inside, dude.
Yeah.
I want some insiders. So if you're an insider, you hit us up.
Bring the
We got our
juice.
Gmail. Yeah, you hit up our description right now. You go, we got I got it linked up, ready to go. Click on it. You're there. You're already typing. Boom. Take it 1 second. Same thing with our handles for our social media. You just click on it and you're there. It's crazy. It's magic. It's black magic, hardwired mysticism at your fingertips. Go follow us. Go rate. Go share. Like our shit. Give us some love. We're almost up to like, about 1,000 a week or so. You know what I mean? So that's pretty nice.
Yeah, dude, we've been getting
We're doing all right.
Cool little community getting built here. It's awesome.
You guys are great so far, man. We had one guy that said replace me. Whatever. You know, shit happens.
Damn.
Well, I don't fucking know. Whatever, dude. Fun times, man. I'm just out here doing me. You know what I mean? Like,
If you
Yes,
weren't
sir.
if you weren't here, it would just be me and like Sims every now and again looking at fucking videos going, dude, look at this shit. Check this out.
hey, man.
What?
And you know, here's the thing, dude. I try to be humble, but also like you do bring a lot, I think, to this whole table, and I think I do. I think it's an equal participation. I don't know, man. I just
That's
don't
just
look at it like
but
that.
it's just like seeing a school bus drive down the street and be like, yo, take the driver out and that shit would be so much better. Fucking idiot.
Right on, bro. I appreciate that. What the fuck do we need these pilots for anyway,
Yeah,
dude? We're fine.
All right, yeah. Kick off the captain of the ship. We're fine, dude.
Yeah,
He's
dude.
the only one that knows how to steer.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. I love it. Well, thank you. And you know, hey man, at them. Why don't you go check out a few more of our episodes? You know what I'm saying? Maybe that one wasn't for you. And honestly, that one wasn't for me. The Mounds episode did the best, and it made me upset because I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah, I know
We had
that
like
was
we had like
if
yeah.
anything, that was like a dud in the mix of all of our shit.
It was just some bullshit. And then we had like the most people pull up to that episode was probably like, yeah, what is that? I mean, yeah,
That's
these guys
how
are just
it be.
dude. And they're like, yeah, these guys are. I mean, I as a person that would have listened would have been like, if I'd already been listening to the show, I'd be like, yeah, this is fine. Cause like,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
whatever. But if it's just straight up the first one, which that was the first one for like 500 people,
Yeah.
dude, that was like such a dud. That upset me
Yeah.
because like I don't think that's gonna bring return. Just because we
There's
were just like that was a vibe for people that already like us or listen to our shit.
sure.
You know,
Yeah. And I mean, every now and again, there's gonna be a dud. They're not all gonna be fucking schmackers.
dude, we
Yeah.
try to put out banger cities every week.
We
Okay,
try, dude. We try.
we gave a week off. We came back after that Mound episode, bro, and that last one was a little bit of a smacker. But let me tell you what, bro, this Silent Weapon series is gonna be fucking crazy,
Yeah,
dude.
dude.
We're going through all the MK Ultra projects.
Mm.
I mean, let me give you an idea real quick for the listeners that maybe didn't hear the last episode, and for our boy, our man, Sims. Sorry, I was finding my tab here. So check out all these projects here, okay? MK Ultra overview. Everybody kind of knows: explore mind control, behavioral modification, and psychological warfare. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Basic. Create a Manchurian candidate. Assassins. Extract confessions. Erase memories. Test drugs like LSD, mescaline, and barbiturates, which all happen to be things that are pushed very heavily on the public. And explore, well, we talked about this a lot, but electroshock, radiation, hypnosis, which radiation is like from everything we use, sensory deprivation, biological agents, all that good stuff.
Mm.
There's a lot of different projects. I won't mention them all to you now, Sims, but that's kind of what we're getting into real deep. All the different
Okay.
projects that pertain to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, Sims, were you on our Internet of Things, Internet of Bodies episode?
No, I don't think so.
So there's this thing that's going on that we talked about, but I want to give a little bit more context here since you're here as well, because this actually lays the foundation for the science behind the Internet of Things and Internet of Bodies. I have laid out how they want to connect you to everything and connect everything to you, but I haven't laid out how they can actually do it like with technology. So I'd like to kind of lay that out just a little bit. I emailed it to you, Justin.
Bro, I feel like the way they would probably accomplish that would be like through frequency or some type of shit, you know.
Radiation and frequency. That's exactly right.
Like yeah, connecting everything together because bro, that's crazy. Like um the Internet of Things, everything has a fucking IP address now, you know. Like your refrigerator has an IP address, the microwave, the whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
crazy, man.
Dude, that's exactly what we went over. See, you didn't even have to, bro. You didn't even have to be there in that episode. We pretty much went over all that shit, bro.
Now
And
that
it's in your second tab, from the left all the way up top. I know, like your actual internet tab.
Now, bro, all right. I just thought about something. This might be kind of far-fetched, but what if, like you said, Internet of Bodies?
What if instead of social security numbers, they start assigning people IP addresses or something? That'd be crazy, bro.
Well, Sims, we did talk about bring up the orb by the Time magazine.
Yep.
We did talk about there's something called the orb by Sam Altman. By the way, his name's Sam Alterman and Altman, whatever. And he's got something called the orb where you scan your eyeball and
Oh my God.
it will give you a number for your iris. And it verifies, get this, it verifies if you're human or not. Time magazine.
Yep.
Get the fuck out.
Dude, isn't that and dude, it's already been adopted in places like England.
The orb will see you now. That's what it was called.
Wow.
There it is. The orb will see you now. And that's exactly right. You will get a number. Look at that. 12,800 digit binary number.
Known
What's-
as the
what's-
iris code.
2 plus 1 plus 8.
Wow.
2 plus 1 plus 8 is 11. That's a Crowley number. That's very that's weird, but whatever. I won't dwell on that.
And when you
So,
do
and-
this, you're gonna get a cryptocurrency called WorldCoin worth $42.
Yeah, so they're incentivizing you with $42 to give away your humanity. That's what it's worth to them.
That's sad.
To give away your soul identity of your soul, because
Oh,
they
this
say
is-
the eyes are the windows to your soul, and then you just
Yeah.
gave it away.
I don't remember seeing this picture last time. They're manufacturing
No.
them here.
They updated it, I think, or we just didn't get too deep into the.
Yeah.
So if they're manufacturing them, who will possess these orbs? I would assume big corporations, government entities, and whatever else.
They're trying to put it like at random fucking like you have a kiosk or whatever, like at a liquor like a gas station. You know what I mean? Like he wants to put this
Yeah.
very easily
Oh.
found. Yeah.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not looking good, dude. He wants to get a lot of people on it. It's crazy. So anyway, with that in mind, imagine your own body broadcasting a digital fingerprint with intra-body communication. Tiny sensors and devices don't just talk to each other through your skin and tissues. They can emit an identifier, a MAC address, which
Oh,
is
man.
yeah, dude. This is something that got brought up a guest we had on, one of our favorite guests, William Ramsey, and he brought up a MAC address and he said you got to check to see if you have one. I was like, what the
Mhm.
fuck are you talking about? I thought I understood the Internet of Things, and this guy added a whole nother layer for me, and I haven't quite got into it yet. So I was going to bring up a little bit of it now. We'll probably do a deep dive more into it sometime, but I want to lay out the theory behind it because it's actually crazy.
Yeah.
We'll leave a link for this. What Justin has right here, I'll put a link in the description for this, for you all to read the actual study. So this MAC address can be recognized just like your phone or laptop or Wi-Fi. This means your body itself becomes a living network hub, and that identifier could, in theory, be picked by a nearby smartphone. What this paper reveals is that the body is no longer just a biological system. It's also a communication system, carrying its own built-in address for the digital world, because we are electromagnetic beings. And
Right,
they've hacked into that technology, the frequency technology. And
Oh my goodness.
and so that's why RFK wants everybody to wear a wearable
Yep.
as part of their health.
Oh man.
It's got nothing to do with your health. We want to track everything. We can fucking shut your heart off with the goddamn push of a button. You know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And if you don't believe me, I mean, dude, the guy who's over here putting the surveillance on everybody, Alex Karp, has glass that will literally vibrate to create white noise. So you can't use lasers to eavesdrop on him.
Wild.
Lasers to eavesdrop on him. That's the part that fucked me up. Like, I'm not surprised about the glass that vibrates. So this guy, rules for thee, not for me kind of thing.
Mm.
Which, by the way, I'll get into that in a minute. I posted what I just told you onto Reddit, and I got banned because it grew so fast. I swear to God, it was 100 upvotes, 20 shares. I had like 10,000 views. Dude, they banned me. Made sure they said I could never post on their on that particular community again. And I looked into who owns Reddit because that pissed me off. And they shouldn't have done that, dude, because I found some dirt out. So this Advanced Publishing owns Reddit, right? So I was like, well, who owns Advanced Publications? Who owns Advanced Publications? Samuel Irving Newhouse. Well, Samuel Irving Newhouse, his family came here born in 1895. I don't know when he came here, but a Jewish immigrant, Solomon Isidore Newhouse, came here, and this is the family that bought this publications company, which now owns Reddit. And now it makes sense why I can't talk about Alex Karp. Because again, Palantir just to prove that Israel owns Palantir, which owns the surveillance police state that's going to run our fucking world. There you go. I'm just saying, dude, you can't. I mean, this guy wants to spray urine laced with fentanyl on people.
Why urine?
Dude, should we pull up the video?
Ah,
'Cause
fuck. This would be like the third time we pulled it up on here.
Dude, I mean, it's worth it, bro, because Sims, bro, we got to catch him up, guys. And we got a lot of new
fuck.
listeners nowadays, you know? And I know that the listeners that have heard this just can't get enough of it, just like we can't, because it's so crazy that this came out of this guy's mouth, dude.
What is there a specific reason why urine in particular? Does it bind better or something? Or that's strange.
Yeah, no, I'm not entirely sure. I did wonder about the ammonia aspect of it
Look,
as I
here's-
thought about it more. But yeah, check this out.
This is the purple one.
I think you often need a lower purpose. Like the higher purpose for me.
What's a lower purpose?
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us.
What?
So that's my lower purpose.
Psychos.
Isn't that
All
lit?
right,
Like
so
the
yeah,
people
there-
clapping
yeah.
in the background?
Okay. I guess.
Oh, I
you know,
love
like,
it.
What a great idea.
What a fucking, I mean, dude, what a bunch of psychopaths back there as well that are like, woo.
What's your take on that, Sims?
Yeah. Wow.
Exactly, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Exactly. So yeah. So anyway, that's what's gonna be running all this shit, dude. I don't know exactly how we got off on that little tangent there. I kind of actually forgot what was the birth of that, but
Internet of Things and shit like
Internet
that.
of Things. Yeah, I know
Yeah,
we were talking
yeah.
about that. I just don't know exactly how. Oh yeah, because I was posting the whole. I'm not surprised about that technology that he has with the Windows. Yeah,
That's right.
I mean, yeah, it's some crazy shit. So the paper discusses intra-body communication, a technology where the human body itself acts as the medium for sending signals between wearable or implanted devices. Back to what RFK was saying. Instead of relying on Wi-Fi or Bluetooth in the air, devices strapped to or embedded in your skin can send data using tiny electromagnetic waves that travel through your fucking tissues, bro.
See, it sounds ridiculous, but we're in the day and age. It's like, yo, that shit's happening right now.
Yes. And again,
Yeah.
it sounds ridiculous, but we will have this intra-body communication document linked for you in our description right now. Go click on it. Boom, you're there. You're reading it. And it's real as fuck. It's a study. It's been done. It's already achieved. And the reason why I bring this up is this is very MK Ultra adjacent.
Yeah.
Because they were trying to figure out how they could control us. And well, the best way to control us is to literally hack our body
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
with technology.
Mm-hmm.
So the authors propose a new communication protocol called IBMAC, or MAC. Here stands for Medium Access Control, which is the set of rules that determines when and how each device can talk without interfering with the others. So they set a whole fucking like highway system for these signals to go.
Yeah.
So they don't interfere with each other. They set a system. It's almost like you can imagine like imaginary wires. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Fucking everywhere, connected to everything, with no like limits or none of them are too short.
Bro, you know what? That the fact that you said that reminded me of
Tesla and all his inventions and shit, wireless electricity.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like sending out I don't know if it was frequency or radio waves or something like that
It was.
to power. Yeah, and I want to say he was successful in doing it, but it cost too much, and it would have, you know, it was too
He
big
ran
of
out
a
of money. He
project.
was running. Yeah, he was running out of
So,
money was a big part of it. And people stopped funding him and
yeah,
stuff. But yeah, I mean, he was
mhm.
making. I think at one point they just realized like, hey, we could just go take all of his shit because he dies and they just take all of his shit.
Bro, and that's crazy how after Tesla dies, they took all his drawings and all that other shit, man.
Who took it?
That's crazy.
Oh, you just brought something else up. Who took it?
I
Trump's
the
uncle.
I want to some huh? What?
Yeah, I'm dead ass. Sorry, there's a little lag. Yes, 100%, dude.
Dead ass?
Yeah. No, there's just a little bit of lag for anybody listening.
little bit.
Yeah, no, 100%. His
Wow.
uncle, John G. Trump, took the Tesla papers. And not only that, but Tesla was friends with a man or lived closely to a man who wrote a book, and his name was Ingersoll Lockwood. And Ingersoll Lockwood wrote a book about a man named Trump that would win. It was called The Last President. It was about a man named Trump that would win. And there was a huge protest in New York outside of Trump Tower, which had the same address, or I was on the same street, rather. And a lot of people have heard this, but I'm bringing this up again right now because you should hear this part. Those protests are happening right now. Right down outside of Trump Tower, there's protests in New York right now. Just like the book. Just like the fucking book. The guy who was friends with Tesla that maybe discovered some kind of time travel. I don't know.
Damn.
Tied directly to Trump, who is the guy that he wrote about. And why does this guy look just like Mark Twain? Dude,
I thought that was Mark Twain.
Bro. Well, Mark I mean, dude, that's actually crazy, bro. He looks just like him, dude. And then in the other one, he looks like Colonel Sanders.
Yeah, he does.
He is Colonel Sanders, bro.
Hell, he is. He's like, I like my fried chicken and I like my time traveling. I time travel to get my fried chicken. Fuck yeah, dude. That's him, bro.
Shit, you do look like
Bro. Dead ass. Oh no. Yeah, dude. Once his shit went white, it was over with, bro. He gained a little weight. He had to cop some glasses real quick. He's sad, dude.
That's him, bro.
Yeah.
That's
Red
him.
and
They just
white.
put
Red and
glasses
white,
on
dude.
him.
Classic Masonic. Yeah, dude. That's nuts, dude. Yeah. So it's all coming to fruition, guys. That's all I'm saying. You know, who knows what goes on in this crazy world we live in. So
yeah, man.
we'll skip through how all this works. You guys can look through some of this Mac stuff. I kind of laid out the fact that our body can emit a MAC address. It can connect to everything. The Internet of Things and Internet of Bodies is not a theory. It is a practice of science that's possibly already in action. So go read up on that shit. Yeah. Yeah, I think we covered about everything. The next episode, we're going to be getting into our part 2 of the MK Ultra. So we're going to be going deep on, I don't know, we'll pick a couple projects. We'll go deep on that and we'll give our theory of what they're doing with their fruitions of those projects now and how they're using them today. Because I do think that MK Ultra accomplished a lot of its goals. And here it is.
Yep.
Dude, it was great to have Sims back, wasn't it?
It was, dude. It was good to have you back, Sims. You gotta fucking come back more.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, man. I definitely appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Anytime.
I had a good time
Yeah,
tonight.
bro. You're welcome
Anytime,
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Anytime. You're my co-host anytime you come on. You know what I'm saying?
So,
You know, Justin's my Jamie / co-host, but you're my fucking co-host You know what I mean? Anytime you come on. So you're what do you call me? Interim co-host, right? Is that
Yeah,
what you call
yeah,
it?
Your
yeah.
chair,
that's
your
what I was
chair
looking
is
for.
always open for you.
It's always there, dude.
I appreciate that, fellas.
It's always there, son. You're like Larry Fink with the WEF. You know, he's the interim president right now at WEF.
Yeah.
So you know, it's perfect. You know, he runs BlackRock and he owns everything. It's great. You know, you'll own nothing though, but you'll be happy. That's all that matters. So we're gonna have a good time, dude. Fuck yeah. Hey, thanks for checking out this episode of 6G Agenda. We had a great time. You guys have a good one.